Hello and welcome to Self-Care Saturday. You all, this is the fourth and final Self-Care Saturday of the 4-part series. And now my computer decides it wants to start to make this noise, and that's okay. Let's give a woohoo for those of you who have watched every single episode. I am so proud of you, and I super love that Self-Care Saturday has meant so much to you. I used to go live on TikTok and do Self-Care Saturdays, and I used to talk about products, and it was so much fun. So stay tuned for what I've got going on in the Self-Care University OK Wellness group. Trust me when I tell you, this is a do not miss. Okay, it's phenomenal. So my name is Connie, and I'm a registered nurse. I have my bachelor's degree. I have been doing natural medicine, natural research, natural styles of self-care for 27 plus years. I've been doing it for longer than that, but I really just got to give myself credit that whenever I was 19, I was asked a load of questions all the time. That sounds very like, loads of questions all the time. Loads of questions all the time. Why? Because they saw that I was someone that I didn't gatekeep. If I knew it, if it went into my ears, if I saw it with my eyes, I was going to share it out of my mouth. I was going to spill the beans, the tea. Gatekeeping wasn't even a concept back then. It wasn't like, oh, let me gatekeep this so that I can save it for a podcast and get tons of views. That wasn't even a thing back then. I think I've been doing podcasts now for like 5 years, but I still have that mindset. But y'all, we've got to dive in. We are talking Self-Care Saturday. This is the truth about dupes and real apothecary self-care. I have been a part of many groups on Facebook, and I'm just going to kind of like, on Facebook. And I have researched, I have looked at the suggestions that people provided. I've used my medical knowledge, and then I just kind of thought, really, does that even make sense? Is that something that it would even be okay even if I wasn't medical? Why would I share that? Like, I get it, because there have been so many dupes in this world that it just seems natural to get the cheaper, less expensive thing that gets you more. And I've said this for 27 years. Just because a bottle like this is $19, okay, and you find something for a bottle like this and it's $9, it does not mean all the time that this $19 thing is not horrendous. And oh my gosh, I can't believe they're charging $10 more than that, because these people over here, they are so generous. They're doing it for $10 less. I would love to know how you still feel. And if you feel that way, like, let's throw it in the chat. But if you think that way, then I want to listen. I want to listen to you. I want to hear what you have to say. Put anything that you feel in chat. If you are a note taker and you are writing in your journal, like I have talked about for 27 years, write it in your journal. Okay? Because where did you get the idea? Where did you come from? As far as like, where did you come from to get that idea? Was that from your notes? Was that something that you were like, have I already tried this before? That's why journaling is so important. Now, I created Self-Care Saturday. I've never heard of Self-Care Saturday anywhere in my life. And that's great if you know about Self-Care Saturday in other places. And that's totally amazing that if you do Self-Care Saturday yourself. I've done Self-Care Saturdays just because it's so important. And obviously the name of my business is Self-Care University OK. This is me sharing, like spilling the tea, all the things, okay? I just wanted to have a space on Saturday for us to slow down and for us to talk about what we're putting on our bodies, okay? Because self-care isn't just what we do, it is what we use. I have another side business. It's called Cozy Care Wellness. I was going to call it Cozy Care Throws, but I just thought, oh my gosh, there's so many more. There are so many products that I talk about in my practice, and I'm sending them over to Amazon, and I'm like, wait, why don't I just make it? Like that way I know for sure there is quality control, because I've seen this and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are the dupes? What are the dupes duping? Okay. And why is this $19 and why is this $10 cheaper? Okay. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, apothecary style products, because those pure, simple, natural items that were made right, like the right way, without toxins or unnecessary fillers. Okay, let's talk about those. Those are what I'm talking about whenever I say apothecary style products. And we're going to talk about what happens when they're not made correctly, and when a product is a dupe or a fake version of something healthy. I spoke the other day, and I've got my beautiful example right here, castor oil. I like this brand. This is Sandhouse, however you want to say it, that's fine. And this is not, this is a product that, this is mine, okay? This is mine. I know it's hexane free because right here it says hexane and chemical free. It's backwards, and that's fine, because the way that I'm recording this, you can't flip the camera or it'll just have you see the little thing that I'm holding the camera on. So there you go. It doesn't change anything. And it is in a brown glass bottle. Oh, let's see here. Let's use this little quarter. Plastic doesn't make that noise. It's so important. Now, I have made bath salts with this, little sugar scrubs with this, and I'm going to tell you, I love using lemon, I love using lavender, I love using orange, but this has a scent. I know you can open it up and you're like, it doesn't have a scent. It has a scent. When you start using this in products correctly, this has a scent. And whenever you open up your product of your bath salts and you're just like, why does yours have like a really strong smell? Y'all, that's castor oil. That's legit. That's 100% legit castor oil. What do they call it? Vegan, good manufacturing practices, GMO, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed, formulated in the U.S. And so it says Sandhouse 100%, and it says that at the bottom. My guess is it's taken a little bit of their little thing so they could put their little code on it. So it's for skin, hair, and body. And then there's the 100% organic. One question that I have is, would you rather have a product that be legit and have the great 100% quality product that it's supposed to have in it, and it does have this natural earthy smell, or like a little bit of a scent, but you're just using the product to put on your skin or putting it in your belly button, because we talk about those in our appointments, right? Or would you rather have something that is so full of fragrance and dyes and so many, it's chemically ridden, that it's got perfume in there, that if you were to use it on your body, that it could create some sort of reaction. So one of these is for sensitive skin or all skin types, and one of these is it can create an irritation, but it is a dupe. Okay? It is a dupe because they're saying it's got castor oil in it, and it's saying that it has all these other things in it. But then when you look at the ingredient deck, it's so long. Like, no, we're not doing that. So let's talk about what apothecary style really means. Okay. When I say apothecary style, I'm looking at my notes here. I'm talking about products that are simple, that are plant-based, and that are thoughtfully made. Just like the ones pharmacists and herbalists used to make long before mass production. If you know me, you know that I am a naturopathy practitioner. You know that I'm a naturopath and I love all things holistic, wellness, and natural. I have seen where pharmacies have really gone to the strong chemical side, where it just pulled away from the natural, and then it just became this hugely expensive design that had to go through doctors getting a prescription, pharmacists getting their take on things, and the insurance getting to say if the price goes up or down, and then what if there's a shortage? Y'all, natural is going to have a shortage. Okay? It's got its own story of its own, and I will tell you that for another day and another time and another podcast. But this over here, natural, because it needs to see the Lord's sun. It needs to go through its process of whether it's unrefined. It needs to go through its cold press process. It needs to go through its time to actually plant the non-GMO seed and to actually have it grow and to have it see the Lord's sun instead of being under some ultraviolet fake light with no real vitamin D. This one over here, it's got the vitamin D and it's got all the wonderful components that it says it will do. Okay. Now, I think outside the prescription bottle. This is not my way of life. If that is your way of life, then you go and you put your coins in with the doctor. You go put your coins in the trillions of dollars that Big Pharma is going to get. And then you go and you put thousands of coins into an insurance company that you may or may not need. That I would also tell you, let's talk about a health share plan. That's holistic if you want to talk about that. And yes, you still get your natural supplements taken care of. So let's take this castor oil, for example. Okay. It is an amazing product. It supports lymphatic flow, skin hydration, and even hair growth. I could literally take this, put it in the palm of my hand. Yep, that's my dog's barking. If you can hear in the background, go like this and rub it into my scalp. What are we messing with? What other products what prescriptions are you taking that someone is saying that it's going to help with hair growth? Another thing that I love is I love collagen. I love collagen. Biotin. Biotin also talks about hair growth. What natural ways are you getting biotin? But right here, did you see this huge bottle? This huge bottle right here is about $10. Okay? And yes, could I take this and could I put this? You would not be able to put this in a spray bottle. It's super thick. Okay? I'm pouring it upside down. Y'all, it's thick. It's thick. Okay? This would not, see how that is just slowly going down my finger? So I had this spot that I had for my plaque psoriasis, but I also have my spot right here. So I'm not going to waste this. I'm going to put it right there. I love this. This takes a little while to soak in. That's okay. Because it's supposed to, because it's called castor oil. This castor oil is going to go in and it's going to hydrate my skin, especially around the winter time. Now, not all castor oils are the same. They're not. I've seen some. I know how to spot the dupes. If you want to know if yours is a dupe, send me a message. Go to selfcareuniversityok.com. Send me a message on there and I would love to help you out. Okay. So if you see a bottle that doesn't say hexane free, that's a red flag. Oh, I forgot to put my lid on. So it says hexane and chemical free. All right. And I really love it whenever it's talking about it's how it's vegan. It's not even vegan friendly. It just says vegan right there. I know that's backwards. All right. Hexane is a chemical. It's a solvent, right? That's sometimes used to extract oils faster. It's cheaper. Oh, yeah. But it leaves this residue that can irritate the skin and affect hormone balance. Hexane free is key. So always look for the words cold pressed or hexane free. We were just talking about cold pressed before. I just got a little ahead of my notes. All right. So those two terms tell you that the oil was extracted gently and safely. Cold pressed and hexane free. Remember, hexane is going to be doing the extracting. how to spot a fake or a dupe product. I've done an entire series. If you want to go deeper into this, I invite you to check out my Patreon account, The Vibrant Secret. I break down popular skincare and self-care dupes, and I share names. I share what is the difference. Okay? So, here's the truth. Not all inexpensive products are bad, but many cheap knockoffs, they cut corners. And I tell it just like this. Imagine this, that your esthetician, she says, okay, so your package today for your facial, it's $125. And we list all the different things that it comes with, okay? But guess what? It's still $125, but we went ahead and got the dupes. And so we're going to use the dupes on you, but we're still going to charge you $125. Imagine if they actually told you the truth in what they were doing. Would you be excited? You're like, oh, you know what? It's $125. You all are really, you're providing me stuff that would be about $5 in products, but these other ones would have been well worth the price. And you're giving me something that's worth $5, but I'm paying $125. Let's go. So $1.25 product. I don't even know what cost $1.25 anymore. I have no clue. What store can you go to and buy something for $1.25? It can really end up costing you much more if it sends you to the doctor and causes a rash. And you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this isn't the dupe, by the way, but you're like, but this dupe said it's castor oil. This dupe, it didn't say hexane or chemical free. What's it doing to my skin? Oh, that's it. I'm so tired of people lying and saying that castor oil is so good. Castor oil is so good. You've got a dupe. This is the glass bottle, by the way, but let's say this was plastic, okay? Let's say that the plastic in the bottle would be seeping through. And the reason why I say go with glass is because this bottle right here, do y'all see how full that is? I've had this since May. I use it all the time. I educate with it, I use it in products. And then I've got a spare bottle that's for, other projects. But y'all, there you go. If this was in a plastic bottle and I still had this for over 2 years, there it is. It says best by or best before 4 of 2027. Says it right there on the bottle. But here's the thing. This is a ginormous bottle. And I got a bottle, let's say this size, and it was plastic. You're still not going to use a lot of it. You're not going to use a ton of it unless you're making products with it. So like I said, if you purchase one of my sugar scrubs or salt scrubs and I use castor oil in it, I would love to use just a gob of vanilla, lemon, and other beautiful fragrant scents of essential oils. But I'm telling you that castor oil is so nice, okay? So here's what to look for and how to read the label. Okay, ingredients are listed in order of concentration. The first ingredient is the most. It's the most of that product is what is in the very, very, very first ingredient. And the last ingredient is what is the least amount of the product. Okay, or the ingredient. If the good stuff like vitamin E oil or rose oil or aloe, if those ingredients are at the very bottom of the ingredient deck, that means that there's just like a drop. That there's just literally like somebody just went boop and just made that, comes with vitamin E. Okay? If that is what they're saying, this is a vitamin E oil. If they're saying this is a vitamin E lotion, the vitamin E it should have a really long name to it. that needs to be one of the big, yeah, there we go. So when you're looking at the ingredients on this, it says organic castor ricinus communis. And then it says seed oil. There you go. Other ingredients, none. Other ingredients is none. This is why it's so important to read your ingredients and to know what an ingredient deck is. This is an ingredient deck where it starts talking about ingredients. And yes, you're going to find some where the ingredients are on the box. You threw away the box. Okay, that can happen. If you cannot pronounce the first 5 ingredients, it's probably more synthetic than natural, of which I will say, if it says vitamin E and in parentheses, it says this long name, that is your vitamin E. You can even do a quick Google search and say, what is ricinus communis? Because maybe you don't know how to pronounce it, right? And it says, that is castor oil. That is blah, 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 and it says that is vitamin E. Lavendulus something, that's lavender. That's the lavender that is seeing the Lord's sun, right? All right. So anyone can add a drop of vitamin E. Vitamin E oil is expensive. It is. So for them to say it's vitamin E, you want them to put more than just a drop, okay? If that's the main focus of the product, okay? Now, and they can literally call it the vitamin E botanical blend. So let's say they put in some vitamin E, they put some of that rose oil, just a drop, and then some aloe, and then they just made this in an entire batch of some other oil, and you're just like, well, mineral oil, you know what I mean? And then they just put that in there, and they sold it to you for like $22. Vitamin E oil, I did say it's expensive. Rose oil is beautifully expensive. And then you also have aloe. Those have wonderful components on their own. But if you just get one drop, the majority of your product is going to be the mineral oil or whatever it's blended with. As it could be, that's like called the carrier oil. But a carrier oil still needs to have its main star of the show to be about 14 drops, depending on the size of the bottle. Even if it's a bottle like this and it's a roll-on, what is your apothecary specialist? I'm an apothecary specialist. I know the equation. I know how much should go where, okay? And it's not just a drop. All right. So let's talk about alcohol in skincare. I've heard of people saying, "Oh, this is alcohol free. This is free of alcohol. This should be so helpful for those of you who have sensitive skin." All right. This is the one you do need. Okay, this is the one that you do need. I've done my research on this, and if you've done your research too, share away. Okay, but let's talk about something that really surprises people. When you look at acetyl alcohol or when it says something alcohol, okay, let's dive into that, okay? I know many of you see alcohol on a label and think, "Oh my gosh, that is so drying." And then here's the science that some alcohols are necessary. Yep. There is a specific type of cosmetic grade alcohol that helps keep bacteria from growing inside your product. And without it, the product could spoil and grow mold. The type of alcohol that I'm talking about, it doesn't damage the integrity of the ingredient and the other ingredients that are inside it. In fact, it protects them. Yes. So not all alcohols are bad. And what matters is the kind and the concentration. That's key. The kind and the concentration. We were just talking about that a second ago when we were talking about the other drops and the other bit of tinctures, okay? So if it's used as a stabilizer or a preservative, that's perfectly fine. You want it, okay? And often essential for product safety. Are there other ways? I will just tell you there are certain when you go into the Patreon account, the Vibrant Secret, you will see what I'm talking about, and you will be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know. That's so wild. And then you're going to go and you're going to look at your skincare products, and you're going to look to make sure that it has that specific alcohol that I'm talking about. And if it doesn't, then we talk about, we really do break it down. Okay. So let's talk about price versus quality. I have seen people go to Dollar Tree and they go to, some fancy store in the mall. Okay. And they're like, this little thing of skincare, this little thing is going to take my under eye pads and then gonna go from puffy to not puffy. Okay. This $89 thing. And then you find the dupe because you have found that person that does TikToks or Reels or whatever. And they're like, we found the dupe. We found the dupe to this $89 thing. It's this right here. And you can get it at Dollar Tree. I am not telling you the truth when I say that. I am 0% not telling you the truth. And I have seen many an esthetician and dermatologist go on TikTok and share their expertise. And that's great. That's great. I am not an esthetician and I am not a dermatologist, but I'm like, I sure know research and I know when it is time to tell the truth. And I know when someone's getting a commission and just wanting some clients. It's eerily icky. It's so icky to me. So let's talk. I've seen rose water, rose mist, rose whatever for $100 on Etsy. And I promise you, it is not $100 worth of rose water. I know it. Now, real, naturally made rose water should cost around $20 to $25. And that is with the person who is making it, who has purchased this large batch, and she's purchased the right bottles to have it be dispensed from, and that those cost, glass bottles are expensive. And if it's going to be a spray or if it's going to be a tincture, you can guarantee that person has invested quite a bit of money. And for them to charge you $20 to $25 for that rose oil, ask me what is a really good price. Or go to selfcareuniversityok.com, go to the Cozy Care Wellness. You'll see what I have. It's for everyone to see. And I do have it on Etsy, and it's not $100. Why would someone list it for $100? It's not fair. It's not fair because I'm not crying over here because, I didn't get an extra $80 for a product. I'm over here not understanding why it's allowed on a big platform. It just looks and just reeks of desperation to have just a single bottle of rose oil, rose water, whatever they call it, right? To be $100. You're paying for a label. You are. That label that they put on there, that's what you're paying for. You're not paying for $100 worth of real rose water. Okay? It should be about $20 to $25. It's what I sell mine for because it's fair. It's genuine and it's real. It's made from real roses and naturally distilled and completely free from chemicals and artificial fragrance. What is saturated inside that bottle that this person is making it $100? Or did they go and buy a dupe, pour it in a bottle, and just slap their label on it and hope that you trust them? That's not right. It's not right at all. Self-Care Saturday, we are not about that. Okay? That's why I dedicated 40 episodes. 40 episodes on Patreon about dupes. Dupes galore. I break it all down. So, all right. So don't assume that the higher price, the better the product. Also, don't assume that the cheaper the product, the better the deal. You could always message me. You can ask me a question. If you are someone, sorry, now I made my nose itch. If you're someone who is going to run a business as an apothecary, you've got to do your research. Okay? And you really want to be super fair, because if you look greedy and selling a $100 rose mist, good luck. You sold one bottle. You sold one bottle for $100, where at $20, we're selling like 10 or 30. So, all right. The sweet spot is for quality ingredients, transparent labeling, and brands that share their sourcing and their safety testing. They don't have to share with you the molecular science of how many drops they did. That's for them. That's for them. If it works and you trust that apothecary specialist, if you trust them and you know that what that magnesium spray does what it says it's going to do because you trust them. I'm an RN-led business, and boy, would that be wild to know that I'm an RN making products that are non-toxic, chemical-free, and that are safe for those who are receiving chemo. What a wild ride that would be if I just willy-nilly just went off the rails and did not have any safety standards and just left $100 price tag to it. Yeah. Now, let's invite you all to comment and share what's one self-care product that you've bought that you just absolutely love, and then one that didn't live up to its label. I'm not here for brand bashing. What I'm here for is exposure to the truth. Because if someone sees your comment and they're like, oh my gosh, I love so-and-so's, I am not asking you to put your multi-level marketing product on here, because you're all going to be your biggest fans of your multi-level marketing product. I'm talking about someone's apothecary. I don't want your Etsy link. It will be deleted. Why? Because that's not what this is about. I want to know what is a product that you bought and what didn't live up to its label. I'm not here to brand bash, but I'm here for the truth to be exposed. So sharing these experiences do help other women, and that's what this community is all about. Okay? So protecting yourself through education. Here's what I want you to take away from today. Knowledge is protection. The more you learn, the easier it is to avoid being misled by marketing. Remember that label? That's marketing. The more you learn, the easier it is to avoid being misled, for sure, by anyone's marketing. I won't go into detail about what I was going to say, but foods, there are some brands where I'm like, oh my gosh, just because it's that brand, I will never trust a single one of the food items that you ever have. And if I understand that it's been manufactured by you and renamed by someone else, I will never purchase your brand, because brand means everything to me. When you understand the ingredients, you take back control. You'll know when to spend a little more and when the cheaper option is actually just fine. Okay? Well, I should say the lesser priced. I really shouldn't use the word cheap, because cheap kind of seems icky. Okay? So that's real self-care. Making informed, confident choices about what touches your skin and what goes into your body. All right. Now we're going to just wrap this up with a beautiful bow. If you enjoyed today's Self-Care Saturday, I would love for you to take the next step. Let's book a supplement clarity session. What do you have what's in your cabinet? What are you using? Has something been in your pantry and it's olive oil coconut oil. It's your face cream. I don't care what it is. Let's have a conversation about it, okay? If you want to, you can email me or you could send me a direct message. You can message me on here that says, I have a question. I want to book a supplement clarity call, okay? So we've got to get this under control because there are some that can send you straight to the ER, and that is no joke. All right. So I would love for you to explore the Vibrant Woman Project. It is a 90-day holistic hormone and wellness journey that helps women regain energy, balance, confidence naturally. We talk about everything in the 90-day project. And by everything, let's go ahead and let's dive in to the same things that we would discuss during the Supplement Clarity program. Join me on Patreon. You can subscribe, you can follow, you can just take a look and see what I post. There's free material on there. There's material on there that costs money. And trust me when I tell you, I have put my cost to be below the level that it should be. Well, I'm not absolutely famous. And even if I was absolutely famous, I would rather service thousands of people than 10. By servicing, I mean I would appreciate to serve you in a self-care capacity of where you receive education from someone who's a naturopath versus someone that is just trying to grab a commission check from you. All right. So that is where I deep dive into those dupes, and I'm the dupe myth busting nurse on there. I share it and I tell it. Okay. Patreon is a fantastic platform in that there is no way that anyone can take my information and repurpose it. That's why it's housed there. You're not going to find it on YouTube. You're only going to find it on Patreon. Okay. So remember, self-care, it's sacred. What you put on your skin matters just as much as what you put on your skin matters as much as what you put inside your body. Okay? You deserve safe, honest, high quality products that honor your health. So I'm Nurse Connie, and I want to thank you so much for joining me for this Self-Care Saturday. Remember that your body isn't broken. It's just waiting for you to listen. And I am so excited for you to be the beautifully you that you know that is in there. I'm so excited, and let's talk soon.